Hello, literature and composition kiddos. Sorry, had to get off of there. All right, so on the agenda today, Writing Journal, you were asked to identify a struggling skill that you have seen throughout the unit. We had 4 skills that we've been talking about. We're going to review them really quickly in this video as well. After you've identified which skill you seem to be struggling with the most, I ask that you go watch the modeling video based on that skill in order to help you understand it better prior to taking the district reading assessment. After you watch that modeling video, it's time to practice. Yes, that's right. We're taking our practice reading test. And before you leave today, please make sure that you do a self-evaluation using the rubric provided. Just a reminder, you must participate in the chat when your video is off. Also, the marking period ends on October 30th, and any late work must be submitted with tickets and will no longer be accepted after the 25th of October, which is this weekend. All right, let's get going. In terms of being on our Portrait of a Graduate rubric, we're going to hit 4 of those competencies. We're going to be problem solvers. We're going to be skilled communicators. We're going to be team players. And of course, informed and engaged citizens. And your learning target is that you can apply the reading skills of Unit 1 to a practice reading assessment in preparation for next week's test. All right, let's talk about the 4 reading skills of the unit. I'm going to scooch myself down here so you can see everything on the screen well. First, we made inferences. Just a reminder, inferences are educated guesses. It's not explicitly said in the text, but your guess can make sense. So it's not something that the author comes right out and says, but instead, it's something that we can make an educated guess about. It does have to be supported by at least 2 pieces of textual evidence. You heard me right. Has to be 2, can't be 1. Let's talk about story elements. Story elements that we focused on were setting, characterization, and plot points. The setting is where or when something took place. Characterization is how the characters develop. Remember the Steele method. Speech, thoughts, effects on others, actions, and looks. And plot points, of course, are the major things that happen within the story. Remember, it's not enough just to identify these things within the text, but you have to talk about how the author developed them. How did the author build them up? How did the author change them as you read throughout the story? Next is theme. Theme is the message the author wants us to take away as readers. Remember, not a one-word answer. It has to be 1 to 2 complete sentences. If it were a one-word answer, that makes it a topic. If you're finding yourself defaulting to one-word answers, then just ask yourself, well, what's the message about that one-word answer? If you find yourself saying that something is about love, what's the message about love that is underlying within the text? You must trace how it develops from the beginning, middle, and end. Again, it's not enough at 12th grade to be able to identify a theme, but instead you need to see what things in the beginning, middle, and end of the text have helped to develop the theme overall. That means at the very least you're going to have three pieces of textual evidence that you need to support your themes. Lastly, you examine the relationships between the 2 themes that you've identified. Like, how do they help support one another? How would it be different if one didn't exist? Which one is more important to the overall meaning of the text? You tell me, but of course, defend, defend, defend. You have to defend your answers. And our last reading skill of the unit is talking about author structural choices. Remember, there's description, cause and effect, sequence, problem solution, compare and contrast. You have to identify 2, support both being used within the text, and examine which one is more important to the story overall. This one is going to ask you about aesthetic impact. Remember, which choice did the author make of setting up the story that made the story more beautiful to the reader, that engaged the reader more? Which one was the most effective for you as a reader? Defend, defend, defend. As long as you defend your answers, then there is no wrong answer. All right, so today you're going to, now that we've done a quick little review of all the 4 reading skills, you're going to choose to watch a modeling video based on the skill that you think you're struggling with the most. After that, you're going to do your practice reading assessment test, and we're going to end with an exit slip where you will evaluate yourself using the supplied rubric. Just as a reminder, when we're doing independent work, we keep our videos and microphones off in case people are listening to the videos or if they are just quietly working on an assignment. I'm always here in the chat, so if you have any questions or need any help, put it in the chat and I will get back to you as soon as I can. I hope this helped you. Get going and you're doing great.